Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with the latest edition of FLEXPECTATIONS. We're here obviously every Thursday, 4:30 p.m, to preview the big boxing action of the weekend. And this week I'm delighted to be joined by Lee Eaton, MTK promoter and in charge of one of the big events this weekend. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you very much.
The weekend kicks off obviously on Friday night on Sky Sports with the MTK Golden Contract. You put two Golden Contract divisions on the same night for the semi-finals, which makes it a huge value for money proposition. I think I said on Twitter the other day it's the best domestic show of the year so far. What made you decide to bundle them in all on one show?
We only had, when we done the deal with Sky, there was only 6 dates, so it was always going to be 2 on one show, but obviously the featherweights and super lightweights is probably the ones that both took a light, obviously more than the light heavies, so it was to do a big show like this, and they're both obviously boxed in October and November, so they were both ready first, because obviously the light heavies didn't box till December. So it's right quarter light, this show. Obviously everyone is absolutely rammed, sold out, so it's going to be a massive event. We're really looking forward to it. And the draw yesterday was some really good little matchups. Obviously my favourite is Lee Wood versus Jazza Dickens. It's an unbelievable fight. Unfortunately the Commonwealth title won't be on the line, but it'll just be the WBO European due to a few issues with the right judges and time frames and stuff like that, which is unfortunate. Another great fight is Tyrone McKenna versus Mohamed Mamone. Obviously Ryan Walsh versus Tyrone McCullough's a very interesting fight. Ryan's obviously the more experienced fighter, but obviously Tyrone, if you chuck a grain of rice at him, you don't think you're even going to get him. So obviously the last fight, Hara Davis versus
Jeff Fury.
Yeah, like Hara Davis versus Jeff Fury, which everyone's like, oh, Hara Davis will win this easy and all that, but Jeffrey Fury, you can't write him off. I'm never writing Jeffrey Fury off again. I took him to Liverpool to fight one of our prospects and he beat him. A week later he come and beat another one of our prospects. So I will never write Jeffrey Fury off. But, he will keep coming. So it's a very interesting fight. So it's 4 cracking fights that sold out your call with some great undercard talent.
And Fury said he expected whoever got the golden ball at 140 to pick him. What about on the other side though, Ryan Walsh? Did you expect him to pick McCullough, who's got a very difficult style?
Yeah, I thought if any of them got the golden ball, I thought they would pick Tyrone, because not that he's the easiest link. He's just, if you look at the obviously experience and the compliments and stuff like that. But Tyrone, I think, is the dark horse in the featherweight division. So he's going to be very hard to beat because he's just so awkward and so slippery, and his boxing skills is very good. So.
Obviously, we could talk about your show all day, so it's a great show. But moving on to the Saturday night, first of all, before the big event out in Las Vegas, we've got a show in York Hall, Frank Warren show on BT Sport. Interesting 2 fights at the top. You've got Umar Sadiq and Cody Davis at super middleweight, which, Cody fought at light heavyweight in his last fight against Zach Chelli. He's obviously moved back down. He's never made super middleweight before as a pro, so it's going to be interesting to see how he makes weight and what he looks like on the scales. And then you've got the big rematch in the main event, Brad Foster and Lucian Reed. What do you make of that one?
Well, first one, Cody Davis versus Umar Sadiq. It's going to be it probably will be difficult for Cody Davis to make weight, but Cody's a very, very good fighter, obviously on the GB squad, and what he's done so far as a pro is he hasn't put a foot wrong. But Umar Sadiq makes super middle easy. He was having a big lunch yesterday. I see him down the gym the other day munching out. He makes the weight easy. It's a great fight. Obviously, Umar Sadiq's already lost against Zach Chelli. And then Cody Davis has beat Zach Chelli, so you can read what you want into it, but it's a great fight. I'm not even going to pick a winner, to be honest, because I'm close to both teams, but it's going to be a great fight. Lucian Reed versus Brad Foster, yeah. I think Lucian won the first fight by a couple of rounds. I met Brad Foster's promoter, PJ Ralston, at the Libra Awards the other day, and we had a chat about this fight, and I said to him that deep down, you lost last time, and listen, on his face, he didn't say straight away he did, but deep down they knew they lost that fight, and I expect Lucian to come and become British and Commonwealth champion.
Let's talk about the big one. Obviously, Las Vegas, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder rematch. First of all, how did you score the first fight?
I think he pissed it. Absolute pissed it. So I don't know what the judges were on. Obviously high on drugs, but 100% he won the fight very, very handily. I think it's an absolute disgraceful decision, but I expect Tyson to do exactly the same, come back and box his ears off. Obviously, he's got to be careful. Obviously, Deontay Wilder's the biggest puncher in heavyweight boxing. But if he can box, and obviously with a proper, now he's got a proper camp and he ain't just coming from a 3 years off, he's going to be very... he's going to be very, very well, obviously ready for it, and I expect him to win and become
brilliant
champion.
Brilliant. Well, I really appreciate your time. We'll be back next week, probably not with Lee Eaton, unfortunately, 4:30 p.m. Thursday, but we'll be here Monday 4:30 p.m. for reflections, looking back on all the action and what's going to be a really busy, exciting weekend for boxing. Cheers.